that you can just. Is this light supposed to be on? Is this serving?
I can turn it off if you want.
No, is it helping you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, it is. Okay.
Here, I'll show you.
You're fine. You're good. If you're in countdown, So we're gonna start with camera 1 or camera.
Right here. That's the main one. I'm gonna keep on this for the
Okay. So when I start the show, do you want to be here, or do you have the titles lined up?
I have titles.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. That's fine. I'm good. All right. Sorry, what? Are we ready to close the door? Hello, it is me, Joshua Harrell from World Via Travel Quest Network, and welcome to this Partner Spotlight with a special guest and friend of mine, Miss Jen Halboth from Riverside Luxury Cruises. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you, Joshua. I feel very special being here.
So you are in the Sequin Palace. That's what we call this.
Oh my gosh.
To some people, it might just look like somebody's basement where they hung some sequin curtains, but to us, it's the Sequin Palace. So,
and I can attest that it's a palace. We're not in a basement. I've not been brought here beyond.
although we have a lot of junk sitting on the table, so we're gonna just do a little redecorating.
Little housekeeping,
little
staging.
Housekeeping. Yes.
Staging. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming down and being a part of a Partner Spotlight with us.
There is very few people I would want to wake up at 2:45 in the morning for, but you know what? You are one of them.
So the reason why she had to is because she lives in Denver, y'all. And she came down to Atlanta just so she could be a part of our Partner Spotlight. So please give her love.
I feel it.
You feel it? You feel the love from the group, y'all.
Woo!
So,
getting hot in here.
all right, let's not go there because Jen and I can definitely keep you entertained through it all here. But just, we don't do very many Partner Spotlights. Partner Spotlights are very, very special to us. We actually got them started during the pandemic, and you were a part of those early days. Yeah, and she's laughing because we tried to do a little Good Morning America type show.
Almost like a variety show.
Some of our members of Travel Quest Network probably remember this moment, but yeah, that was my first time doing that, and actually that was the last time that we tried that. So not to say that it won't come back.
That was a one and done, but it was very special.
I mean, when you do it with the best,
yeah,
why?
Where do you go from there?
Okay. But yeah, so the Partner Spotlights for us are a great way for us to introduce you to our friends. Sorry, we're working with multi cameras, and I just realized that I was leaning. I was doing a little and now I need to come down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Sorry, bear with us, guys. So Partner Spotlights are very, very special to us because this is our opportunity to introduce you to our friends in the industry, our partners, real partners we work with on a regular basis. And this conversation is not going to be how you use the marketing tools and portals. It is not. We're not going to go through commission data tables. We're not going to go through booking platforms. This is not what we're talking about. We are talking about the brand and the people behind the brand. So, if you are a member of Travel Quest Network, the America's premier host agency, actually I'm going to change that, the universe's premier host agency. Jen is also a fellow marketer, so she understands where I'm going with things.
Isn't it World Via Travel Quest Network?
It is World Via Travel Quest Network.
Good.
But
I want to make sure I get invited back.
Our host agency is Travel Quest Network, and it is the premier host agency of the universe. So anyway, thank you. I like how you went there.
Okay.
So really want you to get to know our partners and get to have a little bit of magic time with them, which I've been very fortunate to work with you for several years now. So what I'd love to start with is just, can you talk a little bit? Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I got to back up. This happens to me on a regular basis.
Back it up.
So if you are a member of Travel Quest Network, and you are a member of our members only Facebook group, then please ask your questions of Jen or myself because we will answer them live. And if you are watching,
unscripted.
It's unscripted. It's clearly it's unscripted,
yeah.
Right?
Because who would write this?
Who would write this? But please, ask your questions. But if you don't get to watch us live, then of course you can write in the comments, and we will get back to you. and because we're broadcasting live right now across multiple platforms all around the world.
Across the universe.
Yeah.
Across the universe.
Yeah.
I love the Fiona Apple version. Yeah, okay.
We're going to places. Or so you could be watching this on demand on any of those platforms, or this is going to be the first of the partner spotlights that is going to be on its own podcast. I mean, not just this show, but the partner spotlight is going to debut on your favorite podcasting station from this very show.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of firsts going on.
There's a lot of
the main
firsts,
first is me understanding where I'm supposed to be sitting for the cameras, because so Jen, you need to come over a little bit.
Okay, shimmy.
Yeah, we're doing a little shimmy adjusting. Okay. So those of you who are listening to the podcast, then you
can visualize the shimmy.
All right, so back to business, guys. Sorry about that. So Jen, you've been in the industry for a while. I started in 2017, and I got to meet you in 2018. So tell us about your experience in the industry. How long have you been here? Why are you still here?
Well, clearly, certifiably crazy, as we all are in this industry. Even if you try and get out, you get back in. But I've actually now been in this industry as we know it for 20 years. Almost.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be 20 years in October.
Is that a diamond anniversary?
I don't know. I didn't make it there in my marriage, so I don't really know.
Oh, okay. That's for the next show called Partner Spotlight After Dark.
Okay.
New show, Evan. New show.
So nearly 2 decades.
And the different types of categories that you've worked with. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, I was with the Globus family of brands for almost 19, but I was on the marketing side. So I did marketing for 12 years, then moved into the national account role, and then most recently, last September, so it hasn't even been a year, I joined Riverside Luxury Cruises. I had another couple little dabblings early in my career, like when I worked for the Colorado Avalanche. The woman who did the charters and worked with the charters and picked all the meals for the players and stuff like that. She went on maternity leave, so I got to do a little bit of that. And I actually worked at Trip.com, which was one of the very, very first internet travel sites.
Wow.
In 1998, people. Yeah. So that would be more than 2 decades, but when I really think about me being in the space as we're going to be talking about it, it's been 2 decades.
Yeah, but back in 1998, were we using dial-up or were we...
Ooh, it was probably still dial-up land. We were,
Yeah,
we know the sound.
that was the sound.
Okay.
So you've been in the industry for a while. You've been able to touch a few different categories, especially with the Globus family of brands. I mean, you've got tour, you've got the Avalon Waterways piece there.
Yeah, land and river.
Yeah, you sea? Is there? Yeah, okay. We got a little bit of land and sea. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Is that how it goes?
Surf and turf.
Yeah, surf and turf. Oh, that's a new one. I'll definitely use that. So now, I was so excited when you took on the CEO role at Riverside Cruises. But I didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people still don't. That's why we're here.
Well, that is why. And not only to spend time with me, right?
Yeah. Well,
right?
That's
clearly
a given.
that's a given, right? But you and I got to have recently. We got to travel from the San Jose airport, and if any of you can relate, please drop it in the comments with a little emoji. I don't know anyone that has ever flown into San Jose who does not say, "Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long." Anyway, so we got to ride from San Jose to Pebble Beach, and
that was like
we did play that song
we
just
did.
to make sure we gave it its moment.
That was the surprise gem of my summer.
Oh,
really
I love it! I love it!
Yes.
I love it!
Loved it.
But before we start talking about Riverside Luxury Cruises, what happened in the car while I was driving? And I used to live in California, so I'm kind of used to California, kind of a little bit, as used to as you can be if you don't live there all the time.
Okay.
But you kind of threw me off a little bit because you talked about the parent company.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought Riverside Luxury Cruises, it's a new brand, it just launched.
It's all brand new.
It's all brand new.
Right.
But Different story.
yet. Different story. So yeah, the parent company is Seaside Collection Hotels. So it's a family-owned business, still run by the family. Started in the early 1970s by Theo Garak, and now being handled by his son Gregor and his daughter Anushka. And they have owned and operated luxury hotels in Europe since the 70s. And now they also have a property in the Maldives, the Honolulu. So this family really knows hospitality, knows hotels, knows service, knows luxury. And they wanted to bring it to the river. And so here we are. And they acquired all 5 of the former Crystal ships. And that's another part of the story where it's a hardware deal. So it's a new company, but advisors, many of you, you know these ships, they're gorgeous. So that's kind of how we got our start, and we haven't even been at it a year. And but we are sailing already, which a lot of people, when they come out with a new brand, it maybe takes a couple years to get sailing, but we're sailing and working things out as we go and learning as we go, and it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, so you know about Crystal because I remember before the pandemic, I mean, we were Crystal, those ships, right? This is luxury, luxury, luxury. And, you know, their history is their history. But what an interesting, to me, I found it, I don't know about you guys, but I found it extremely interesting that this was not a, oh, boom, there was a company.
Right.
It
Actually,
is a family company.
Yeah, and it actually went back to pre-sea times, The owner, Gregor, was actually looking to get into river cruise. And
Interesting.
actually went and looked at another line that was up for sale at the time, but said to himself, these ships aren't really luxury. All right, but I kind of like this. I kind of really think that luxury hotel clients, getting on a river, it's just that you get to be on a hotel that moves, right? So he's like, okay, well, these aren't the ships. Well, maybe we'll go build. Well, it was 2018. You think you're going to get in and build any ships at that time? The shipyards are full. And so what he did is he paused and went and bought a private island in the Maldives and completely refurbished it during COVID.
As you do, you just, buy a...
Pause on river cruise, move to the private island plans, and keep going forward.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a testament to the, a lot of family companies, maybe they stay, it's true to their core and they stay who they are, but this company is really pushing themselves to go out and, they've only operated in Europe and then go to the Maldives and now get into the river cruise space. And definitely hire me. They've got to have a little bit of risk-taking ability, right?
Gregor, if you need any background reference checks, I know you've already made the decision, but, I can tell you what you're in for. And it's going to be a bumpy, amazing ride.
Thank you. Yeah. So, it's really exciting, and I know it's a tough category to get into, right? A lot of entrenched competitors, great brands, a lot of loyalty with travel advisors as well as guests, but it's also a style that I believe is still not scratched the surface of where it can go. Really, so many people have yet to take their first river cruise. So many advisors, some of you out there have yet to sell your first river cruise, but we are going to change that today.
We are going to change that. Not only are we going to talk about it today, but we're going to continue to talk about it because I'm so excited to have Riverside Luxury Cruises as one of our preferred partners, and that's a level of commitment between both of us.
Yeah.
To make sure that we are delivering an experience for our members and our travelers that you've said, and I know I might be telling tales out of school, but all you other friendly competitors of ours, just be on the lookout because we're always going to try to plus whatever we can with Riverside Luxury Cruises and Jen. And if she's told you the same thing, then just don't tell me. Let's just keep that.
No, but I will say you're in a very small set of early supporters, and we want to say thank you to you as well as to all your network because it's not easy. You guys are coming out of a time when you're a little jaded, right? If something's not known, you're nervous to maybe suggest it to a client. But that's what these talks are about. I really want to use this time to give you confidence. and just know where we sit for you. That's the important thing. We're not going to make sense for everyone. No supplier, no brand does, ever will. But this is us just uncovering where we might fit and make you more profitable. And because I really do believe that every travel advisor should really seriously go after the river cruise space if they aren't already. They should be selling land, they should be selling ocean cruises, and they should be selling river cruises. And they need to have strategies for those 3 verticals.
Can I get an amen?
Woo!
Yeah. Can I sell river cruise? That's what I want to get. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about, in regards to your brand and what the offering is, and what you're building, because again, I really wanted to, and Jen and I got to talk before the show, and I said we need to go back to our Taurus that we were driving in. It wasn't a Taurus, but it was.
But you were driving with a Taurus, so.
Oh, and I'm an Aries, so just in case you need to know that. But anyway, whatever car we were driving, it was not anything spectacular. But I wanted to go back to that car ride because it was a huge aha moment for me about Seaside, and that there being this family business, and not. When we look at a lot of our supplier partners, we look at there's the same old destinations, but this is a German-based company.
Right, they're out of Hamburg.
So their flag is planted, or their pin has been dropped in a very different place from the American brands.
Right.
So some of the places, let me just go buy an island in the Maldives. That's not where I would go.
Right.
I mean, even Richard Branson went down to, the Caribbean there and said, hey, let me do this. But, I wanted to touch on that story, and I want to come back to really some of the Riverside Luxury Cruise difference. Uh-huh. But it's very, very important to us to talk about being an entrepreneur. That is something that it's at our core. It's at our core. We are entrepreneurs. This is who we are. And being a sales and marketer, that comes first. And you did something that I was just really, I can't remember if you messaged me, because I wasn't at this particular event, but you messaged me, and I'm like, no way did she do this. And then I go and did a Google, and then I did a Google. Is that a thing, or did I just really show my age? Did I do some Googling?
And then you did the international sign for typing?
Yeah. Okay. I'm working. I'm in my office. I'm doing work right now. Hello.
Very busy.
So I remember you telling me about this, and so then I did the Googling, and I found out that, man, you made a splash. So tell me about, because this applies to our entrepreneurs, our travel entrepreneurs out there.
It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. Right. So I want you to talk about, again, we knew Jen. She had has a phenomenal reputation within the industry. So we knew her, and we knew she went over to this place called Riverside Cruises. That's all we knew, right? But you had to do something to disrupt the media. You needed to disrupt our thinking. Yep. What did you do? What did you do? That sounds so accusatory.
What did you do? I've heard that a lot in my life, actually. So, so by design, I really chose the Asta River Cruise Expo as the moment I wanted to launch Riverside Luxury Cruises to the U.S., obviously, trade. Because it's Asta, because I love that they've taken on bringing advisors together to focus on river cruise. So if you don't have river cruise as a vertical, Asta's focusing on it. So, they're kind of smart. So went there, brought my sales directors. Obviously, we had the expo, but of course the ship, the Mozart, which was the first ship that has sailed, the Riverside Mozart. We needed to have a godmother. We needed to have a christening. But we went, shh. In fact, very few people, my team knew about it, obviously the people on ship, very few people at ASTA. And what we did is when I said, we're going to do a surprise christening, and we are going to refer to it as Fight Club from here on out until we get through the christening. So it was this thing.
So that was the Operation Fight Club.
Operation Fight Club was
Ooh,
surprise
I like
christening.
that. It feels like I've been watching a lot of like World War II shows, and there's like, you know, Operation this, that, and the other.
Exactly.
So you had Operation Fight Club.
Yes, absolutely. This is our godmother. An advisor by the name, an owner advisor by the name of Tiffany Hines. She's amazing. She's in Athens, Georgia.
She's in Athens, Georgia. I know Tiffany because
she's remarkable.
Well, hello, amen to that.
Yep.
But Tiffany, if you happen to be watching, because again, we are broadcasting worldwide, right?
Yeah.
But I got to meet Tiffany on my very first ASTA legislative day.
There you go.
And so she and I got to go around and learn how a bill becomes a law.
I'm just a bill. Yeah, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Anybody that's watching that is not a Gen Xer,
I know you don't get that.
Like,
that one's lost on anyone who's not a Gen Xer. That's true.
I better look that one up.
We're a small but mighty cohort.
But she was so gracious. She had been before, and so she was so gracious to take me around. So I got to participate. ASTA is a phenomenal organization that is truly, oh man, I
the
just
American
messed it.
Society of Travel Advisors.
Yeah.
I'll help you out there.
I completely, every time I go in, I'm like, uh-oh, I can't get out of this one yet. But they are looking out for travel advisors, and I was speaking to Charlie from CLIA.
Oh, Charlie. I like Charlie.
The Cruise Line International Association. And I said, really, I mean, you guys are representing travel advisors. And he said, no. The CLIA is about the cruise lines.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But the way you look at it is ASTA clears the path for the travel advisor, the travel entrepreneur.
To do their job.
To do their job.
To do their craft.
CLIA is supporting them from the cruise line perspective. Right. And I thought, thank you for breaking that down at Charlie. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I got to meet Tiffany, and so I can say, when you said her name, when we were first talking, I said, I know who you're talking about, and she is such a phenomenal force.
Well, she is, and there's a story there too, and why I mean, once I decided we wanted to do this, I mean, she's who popped into my head, because there was a story. So I went and got on the Mozart for the very first time last October. So I'd only been with the company a little over a month, maybe 6 weeks. I get on, see it for the first time, meet Sonia, the hotel director there, and she's back on her ship. You can see she's in love again. She's home on her ship. We were all sitting there, a group of us, because we had some of the other markets there, because we have an office in London, Hamburg. Our call center's in the Canary Islands. We've got 4 properties there on the seaside.
That's right. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. So we're all sitting around after they had some little trade events, this and that. And I said, guys, we're going to need to christen the ship. I said, I've got the best idea. And someone chimed in, we need to get somebody famous. And I was like, we do not need to get somebody famous to be a godmother of our first ship. We need to get someone fabulous. And this is how I teed up Tiffany when because what we did is we pulled, the day of the christening, we pulled everyone into the lounge, and they didn't know why they were there. Bring your jackets, because we ended up having to do it at night because, just timing. ASTA had a schedule, and I had to fit in it. Yeah. But when I was teeing her up, it was really about, this is a new river cruise line. We're getting back out there and traveling in the world. And at the end of the day, Tiffany just personified all of that. She battles for her people. She battles for this industry, but she does it with grace and style and a great laugh and a great smile. And I'm like, there's no one else I would rather represent Riverside Luxury Cruises.
Right. And can you just say that? And I wasn't available.
Yes. Because you're. I know the whole Godfather thing has kind of started, but I don't know if I want to go down that line. So I don't want anyone to sleep with the fishes. So I'm going to stick with the godmother thing, if that's all right. Yeah. And that's why
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Good.
I have come to peace with that. I'm just saying, and I would agree with you, because the more. I think I've admitted to many of our audience members that I go down rabbit holes, especially on the weekends, whether it's shopping for period pieces through Amazon that I'm going to try to make work
Okay.
in my everyday,
Oh.
or it's learning about mythological things or history. And while I would love some equal opportunity on the Godfather side of things, I'm gonna just say I feel like the Vikings kind of had this down a long time ago. Let's just let's not mess with it.
Yeah, let's just not.
Find something else.
Yes, we'll find
hot
something.
air balloon Godfathers. Like
Okay.
maybe let
Right.
that we can kind of go there.
Yeah.
So again, the reason why I wanted you to talk about it is because as entrepreneurs, you're in a world where there's a lot of competition. There's you don't have millions of dollars in advertising budget, so you've got to come up with ways to creatively
Stand out.
be known.
Yeah.
Be known.
Yeah.
And what I love about the story, and again, I remember, I think now that I think about it, we had a Zoom meeting, and so we had a little chit chat then, and you told me that, and I didn't believe you that you did that, right? Because I think you just came back. I think I wasn't at.
Take me for a liar.
It was scandalous. I was like,
Scandalous.
I do not buy into this tale that you're telling me. So I think it was the week after, and so I hadn't really gotten caught up on what was going on in the news and in our industry. And so, you tell me about this, and I'm thinking, how did she pull this off? And did she really, right? And all I had to do was search Riverside Luxury Cruises, Asta River, and all of a sudden it was in all of these different online publications, and it was, you disrupted the media. But I want to point this out to you, you guys at home. She found
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, she found a way to be creative in working with Asta. She worked with Asta. So this opportunity that she had may not fit your next opportunity, but it's very important that you don't try to overshadow kind of the host of whatever you're a part of, and that can look different in different scenarios. But she made a call to Asta and said, could I do this? What would be the guardrails I need to stay within? And then in the end, I mean, I do know that this was a win-win.
Yeah.
That this was something that was great press, not only for Riverside Luxury Cruises, but it was great press for this Asta River Expo, which, if you haven't ever been and river cruising is in your space, or you want it to be in your space, I highly recommend you go, because I have heard nothing. A lot of our Crown members, who
they
are selling,
rave about this event, and it's sold out already for next year, and they have 1,100 advisors in Amsterdam. But of course, they do a wait
could
list.
somebody send me an email, because now I've missed out on another invitation.
Yes, but
who do
listen,
I know at Asta?
You must know somebody.
I feel like I know somebody who used to be the chair at Asta. I don't know.
Well,
Jay, can you help? But it's a big event. But so again, I want to highlight the fact that you partnered with them. Yeah. You did not compete with them, because that would have gone over like a lead balloon.
Of course.
You would have been banned from the social registry. Right. I know you wouldn't do that.
I have enough intelligence not to do that.
Right. But people don't necessarily think about it.
Yeah.
So what?
In fact, the thing was, really, I asked Asta. I actually called Summer before I even gave the idea to the owner, because if Asta was not on board, we were not going to do it.
Right.
So,
right. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
But what happened is it worked within what Jen was putting together, and it also, any press that Riverside Luxury Cruises received from this surprise christening, right?
Yeah.
Any of that press also had listed in every single article, debuted at the 2023 Asta River Cruise Expo.
Yep, absolutely.
So that benefited them. as well. So you it was a win-win.
Yep.
And you doubled the value, doubled the pleasure, doubled the fun. Yeah,
Doublemint gum.
Yeah, doublemint gum.
We're just, you know what? You're going to relive all our childhood jingles, shows, and everything.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
we're here
Jem,
together.
it's truly outrageous, truly outrageous.
Yeah.
But I wanted, I mean, obviously that is such a small part of the story, but what I find, now I've been told I can't say I'm new to the industry, but
Can't play that card anymore.
yeah, I can't play that. I mean, I've been called out publicly about that. I cannot do that. But the thing the reason why I wanted to call this out is I think too many people think that there's only one way to go about becoming known, and not everybody has the budget. Not everybody has the connections. This is you utilizing connections that you had built over a lifetime within the industry. Yeah. This wasn't just a, hey, but you created an opportunity that you hadn't even thought of.
Right.
I mean, the opportunity presented itself. You went down the right channels, and you got free media. Mm-hmm. And that's out there now. So if you guys want to go, like I said, do the Googling.
Go to the Google machine, I like to call it.
Do the dial up. Connect up and just see this press, because it's stuff that you can do within your local market. It surprises me how many people think that the local newspapers and news channels, that they have everything they need. No, they don't.
They always need content.
They always
need content.
but they do not need an advertisement.
Right.
So
nope. you gotta like put something out there that adds value to their viewers or makes them look like, wow, we brought you this cool story. But back to your point about so many different paths. One of the things I like to say high level, about humans is, as many humans as there are in the world, that's as many world views as there are. Think about that. Like, no one has the same worldview. Impossible, because you have a history, you have experiences, you have skills, you have family, hereditary, whatever. It's the same in business. No one is going to take the same path, ever. I mean, you can forge your own path. And but that means really being connected into who you are, why you got into business, how you hire, what kind of culture you're creating, what kind of product that you really want to focus in on, what kind of experience you want to make for your guests. And we are all human, so we are unique. And so we're all going to create a unique business experience.
And at this point, if I had a mic, she could drop that right there, because that is, that's really awesome. Yeah. I just wanted to bring that story to you because, again, Jen and I have been friends for a while. I didn't believe her when she told me she pulled off this coup in my mind, right? And fortunately, I could go to Mr. Google, and he validated it. But this, coupled with you and I having a conversation in the car in California, and you telling me more about the parent brand, all of a sudden, it started. I saw this natural connection to every single entrepreneur, whether you're in the travel industry or not.
Yep.
Use what you got to get what you want. And think,
you may not get what you want, but you'll get what you need.
Ooh, I like that. Shoot for the moon and you'll clear the fence. But I mean, come on, where else can we go with this? But I'm just saying, don't get overwhelmed by creating an event as big as this. Right. That might not work for you, but you have a story, and I do love to say that you are uniquely you. So someone else down the road might sell river cruises, but no one sells them or is passionate in the way that you are. So lean into that, and also be creative in your marketing strategy and your media and PR relations strategy. So I just have to give you, if we had we have a golden, what is this? This is a peony.
Love peonies.
It's a faux peony award for for being an amazing
I want like a
out of
little,
the box
a little
thinker.
thing on here. So if you try and give this to anyone else, they'll know you gave it to me first.
Yeah.
Just to
All
be
right.
clear.
Evan, if we can. Evan is our producer, and he's behind the scenes. Evan, I do think that we need awards that I can give out while we're on air.
Yes, we go with that.
more.
Well, and to your point too, being authentic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just not everything is going to fit right with your business or feel right, and you can't do everything. So it's really, really important as you start out with your own company that you get true about what you're trying to do and who you are, because it'll help you cut down on things, right? Because you can't do everything,
Right.
and you become overwhelmed. But if you go, nope, that's just not the vibe we're trying to strike, or that's not in my wheelhouse, or that's not where I want to focus right now, then it really will simplify your life. And we are all trying to simplify our lives, right? I mean, that's one of the things that we just...
I'm not. I'm trying to make it harder.
Okay.
I'm trying to make it harder, as hard as I can.
Well, I want adventure, but I don't want difficulty. How about that? Let's go on adventure, but let's not have it be super hard. Let's have it be more fun.
I'm down.
Okay,
I'm absolutely
cool.
down.
Good.
All
We're on the
right,
same
so we've done our entrepreneurial sermon for the
Okay,
day.
all right.
All right.
Okay.
So let's talk about these 5 ships that you
Okay,
have
okay.
that were owned by a previous company.
Right.
But
Are now owned by Riverside Luxury Cruises.
Thank you very much. And they were known
Yes.
back before you
Yes.
as quite the quintessential
Yes.
cruise experience from a hardware perspective.
Yeah, the most beautiful ships on the rivers, without a doubt.
There we
Saying it,
go.
owning it.
So where are we at now? What's happening right now?
Okay. Right now, the Mozart is sailing. The Riverside Mozart is sailing on the Danube. So obviously, she's an extra wide, so similar to the Ama Magna. So she can only sail up to Passau, down through like into the Iron Gates. But it's an awesome ship. It was an older ship, but Crystal put so much money into it. I mean, it's impeccably designed. You literally feel like you're sailing in a luxury hotel because, of course, with the extra width, you just have more space, right? Which is amazing. But the other 4 ships were built exclusively for the luxury traveler. In fact, the owner, when he was digging in on, the Crystal brand, he read like every review and looked at the ships. When he was thinking about maybe, building ships, he looked at these and he's like, well, these are the ships I would have built. Because they are built in a way that the galleys are larger, so you can have more chefs, so you can prepare food on demand. You have less guests on board, more crew on board, so that we basically have a suite to crew ratio of 1-to-1, right? So it was all about building ships for the luxury traveler. And so the Ravel, one of those sister ships, is going to be in the south of France starting next month. I'm actually going to be on the August 20th sailing. And Crystal was never in the south of France. So this is now this quality and beauty of ship in a destination that matches it. So I'm telling you, the south of France will never be the same once the Ravel starts sailing there. And then next year we will get in the Debussy and Bach, and by 25 the Mahler, so we'll have all 5 ships sailing by 25.
You know what? I'm glad that you just talked about, you call it the Ravel.
The Ravel. Yep.
Ravel.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm not really good with English or most languages, so I apologize. But I love that you said that Crystal didn't go there. Mm-hmm. Okay? So here's a point that I want to make for all of you who are either going to be selling Riverside Luxury Cruises or traveling, or both, right?
We hope both.
Right? This is not just a rinse and repeat of that previous company. So this is
I've been kind of saying we're going to pick up where Crystal left off. I mean, I think again, I've been in the river cruise space. The river cruise space is amazing. This is one thing I love to use this tool all the time with advisors. The ocean cruise continuum, okay, I gotta see where I'm on camera. There you go, is this wide, right? You go from Carnival to Seabourn, Windstar, it's a really big continuum. But now watch, with river cruise, it goes like this. The entire market, the entire segment is up market, right? And it's a little more narrow because of the, you can only be so wide. That's why not everyone has extra wide river cruise ships, because they wouldn't be able to sail through the places we want to. It's important that advisors really felt that Crystal was occupying that top luxury spot. Mm-hmm. We want to occupy that top luxury spot. That's why, it's why the owner got into it, and take it further and take it to Riverside and see where we can take the brand. Because I have to say, I got to go to 4 of the properties on the Canary Islands when we went to
Seaside.
Yeah. I was blown away by the service and the level of service, which is what we want to do on Riverside. Is we want it to be attentive and personalized, but we want it to be authentic and relaxed and fun and true. And I saw that at these properties, and I would ask the bartenders, "Oh, how long have you worked?" "Oh, I've worked here 10 years, 15 years." That says a lot to me about a company,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And I just the hotels were beautifully designed, the food was delicious, the staff was just so sweet, and I thought, all right, I'm in the right home. I'm in the right home because I took it's like I didn't really know that to that level.
Yeah.
You can't know that level until you get into the property.
Right.
If the owner had told me that over and over again, it's not until I see it. And so I came back, and that was right after I saw you right after, and I was just invigorated.
In fact, you had just like landed recently.
Literally,
like,
I was home one day,
Yeah.
and then flew to and met you in San Jose. Yes.
Yeah, do you know when to San
It's so
Jose?
good. I mean, you just want to say it over and over again.
Yes. But you bring up a good point. I've worked for theme parks. I've worked for cosmetic companies. Different organizations, and I always hated in an interview when someone would say, "Well, our company is all about the customer. Customer is number one. Customer service is the most important thing." And then you go and work for that company, and you find out, no. That is not the most important thing. There's business metrics that must be met. Okay, so that was a fluffy thing to say.
Yeah.
The other thing is as a consumer, you can tell me you have amazing customer service, but until I get to experience it,
Right.
I don't know. It is a false promise in my opinion.
That's
okay.
true. Yeah.
So what I loved about your story is, here you have this new cruise line, and you're going to make it what it's going to be. Okay, so you could tell me.
We are going to make
Yes,
it.
we are going to make it.
I really believe
right.
that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's your feedback.
It
because-
takes a village. But yes, you're right. But you can say, customer service. But what struck me in our ride from San Jose was that you got to experience, as a traveler, you got to experience the family brand and its hotels.
Yeah.
They didn't know you from Adam.
Nope.
So you were one of their travelers, and you got to say, wow, this is great service.
Yeah.
So this is not a fluff promise. They know how to deliver it.
Yep, they do.
And for me, I think we even said that that was a moment of truth that you would never have known, because here you are in America,
Right. Yeah. Yep.
presenting this brand, but you got to experience
And
that.
of course, I really put myself through the filter of I got to believe what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it if I don't believe it, right? And so I really did believe it, but sometimes, as a marketer, because I was marketing for a long time, you market something sometimes when you haven't seen it. Like I marketed the Panorama Suite and had not been on it before for years, and I remember going the very first time. I was taking my mom for her 60th birthday, and I stood on the threshold, and I literally put my head against the door and said, "Please don't make me a liar." I mean, because you have to have a leap of faith that, you trust that the experience is that. But even those of us who work in the product, we have those moments of truth with ourselves where we go, gosh, we got a really good thing. We got a really good thing here. It's really, we're doing it, and we're doing it right. And people are going to love it.
So even though we're not talking about the previous company you
Yes.
worked for, I just want to say that as a receiver of your marketing message, because I hadn't experienced that river cruise before, when I was fortunate to do this, and Pam Hoffey knows this story, so I'm just going to leave it right there. I was dogged tired, and knew that I needed to take a nap before I was going to go do something. So I face planted in the bed, and I turned my face to the side, and I saw the panoramic windows. And I said, Jen has been banging on about these windows
These dang
for
windows.
so long that I got myself up and I opened those windows all the way, and I experienced it.
Yeah, it's the best.
But there was also another story that followed that we'll wait and save it for
Okay.
when they're on. But
Okay.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
because of you, I made sure I took advantage of the panoramic suites.
Well, that's it. You got to like do the things in the moment, right? And
Yeah.
just really enjoy the the ship. And that's one of the things that we're really looking at Riverside is really looking at the balance between the time you spend on land as well as leaving you time to enjoy the ship. Because these ships are marvelous, right?
Yes.
And so we want you to see as much of the destination, and really river cruising is about flexibility. So you can be on the go the entire time, or you could just be on the ship the entire time. We're trying to, create opportunities for people to find their proper cadence to enjoy. So
And nothing is better than a proper cadence.
nothing.
Well, before we continue on, I do want to go over to the chat because
Okay.
I have I realized that I just let my phone sit right here. So guys, if you're in our members only Facebook group, I apologize because
He was just really focused down here.
We're so I'm so happy to be in the Sequin Palace right now that I completely left out you guys that were here. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see
Let's
here. I just want to say hi to Stacy, Terry, Michelle for tuning in. Michelle is giving you a big "Hey Jen," and I had to make sure I did the exclamation point. There was one there.
Thank you.
Let's see. I don't know how to take Michelle's statement here, but she says, "I have experienced a night with Jen and her team, and they are awesome." So I guess I should say that it was with the Riverside Cruise team, because
Yeah,
I'm thinking, were you in a hotel room? Like there was a lot that was running through my mind, Michelle. So do me a favor, always over-explain.
Well, you know what? Actually, I appreciate that statement, because when you go back to thinking about why do you do something you do, why do you feel the fear and do it anyway? Why do I leave a brand that I loved, a company that I loved, to go out into some unknown? And I think the thing that really came back to me is, of course, I want to sell a wonderful product, but I want to build a really amazing team. And it's the thing I've been most excited to do. And I have to say, shout out to Carolyn, Kelly, Michelle, Katie, Peter, and Maureen, because you guys are amazing. And in a short time, the thing that's made me most proud is I've gone to a conference, and an advisor has walked up to me and said, "Wow, your team's really something." And I'm like, "That's awesome. Proud mom here." So it's cool. And that's a lot of times, guess what? We're going to sell some things, people. We're going to sell some things, But at the end of the day, we also can change people's lives, either in hiring them or hosting them on our vacations. And that's really the magic of this industry and why people don't get out of it or shouldn't.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be? I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Wow. Let's see here. Let's see. Hannah said, "Sorry I'm late. So looking forward to this partner spotlight and learning more about Riverside. I have heard great things." And Hannah, thank you so much for tuning in. Just so you know, a little history. Hannah joined us a few years ago now, but she joined when we first started doing partner spotlights.
Oh, okay.
So they went on hiatus for about a year. And she started raising Cain.
She's like, "Bring me back my partner
like,
spotlight."
where is, I don't care about you and Jason in the weekly chatter. I need a partner spotlight.
Aww.
And so very happy to hear
Well, thank
about,
you, Hannah. Honored to be here.
Yes. And then she said, "That's my goal for 2024. Obviously because I neglected this is kind of not in real time.
Yeah.
But
To focus on River Cruise. She wants to focus on River Cruise.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
You're the perfect co-host for this. Yes.
You can bring me back at any time.
And so when I was asking for some amens, I got some
Okay.
amens.
Oh,
so,
sweet.
So,
Love it.
see the our community, they know how to keep it going. So
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, girl. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, she said in the heyday of partner spotlights. So, thank you, Hannah. Am I blushing? No, or did I put on a lot of blush? I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for your comments, and thank you for tuning in live.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you weren't able to tune in live, obviously you can watch this on all your favorite video channels. You can also watch it on the World Via Pro platform. So definitely tune in, and if you missed out any of this, a lot of good things that we have been talking about. So, or at least I think so.
No,
But
this has
that
been...
sounded weird that I said we've been talking about a lot of good things. Like in my opinion, everything we said has been golden.
Yeah.
Has absolutely been golden.
It's
So,
been really fun.
so right now we've turned the corner over on the year. We're in that second half of the year. We're now looking at bookings into 2024. You've obviously got some product that's shifting around and moving.
Yeah.
So for our members or travel entrepreneurs out there in the world who are excited about the jewels of river cruising, essentially, where and you have a marketing background. I mean, that's where we first connected.
That's where
We came from the waters of marketing. Where would you suggest someone put their energy and focus? And this doesn't have to be specific to Riverside Luxury Cruises, but there's people who are really thinking about their niches, their marketing plans, where they're going to invest. Again, not everybody has all the money,
right?
But where are they going to invest their time and resources to really take advantage of 2024, and then turn that over into 2025, and
absolutely.
Where would you advise someone to start putting their effort today?
Well, I would get waitlisted for the Asta River Cruise Expo if you're not already signed up, because that platform is really amazing especially if you're getting new, right? Because it will condense a year of training and getting to know some of the brands down into 4 days, and being able to be there and walk on. How does the ship feel when you walk on? What is the dining room? How is it laid out? What is the suite layout? What is the vibe on the ship? That is invaluable, because advisors know their clients, right? And so if a client travels in a particular hotel or likes to travel in this type of way, you will know very quickly. This line is for Sally and Joe. This line is for Debbie and Harry. So you see what I did there. And I just think that. But start prioritizing river cruise as a vertical now, and that means if you're going to Travel Quest World, maybe make sure if there's some river cruise segments, either panels or workshops, attend them. Start to reach out to your local BDM. I mean, they are dying to find you new to river cruise that want to know. They'll tell you their story. You'll listen, and you'll just start to know kind of maybe who the lines that you want to focus in on.
Good, that's great advice, and I also want to highlight that you will be. You are one of the sponsors of World this year, so you will be there.
I will be there. Come meet me in the flesh.
Main stage. You'll definitely be seeing Jen there.
Don't you think you and I could do it like the Donnie and Marie show? Do you ever watch the Donnie and Marie show?
There were several.
But when he showed his purple socks, always. You can wear the purple socks.
I don't remember that, but if there's a reason for me to ask Jason if I can shop on Amazon for a legitimate work expense.
Yes.
I feel like purple socks, I don't know.
I just need to happen.
But
we digress.
I digress.
We're going to be at Travel Quest World.
So you'll be at World along with some other of our river partners.
Yes.
So you can definitely use that opportunity to meet and talk to them. But the advice that you've heard me say over and over again all year long is, don't let the first time you reach out to one of our partners be when you have a problem. Make that if there's if you've got a niche and there's a group of partners who you want to work with, make that call, because Jen made an awesome point. They want to work with you, and you might feel a lot of you are solopreneurs out there, and you do feel alone. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I was a solopreneur for a very, very long time. It gets lonely. Guess what? These guys work with people just like you and existing agencies, and they have for a very long time. They want to know who you are. They want to know that you are serious about this niche and what their product can offer you and your clients. So they will meet if they can. They'll meet up with you for coffee, invite you to special events that they're hosting, but they need to be known. You need to be known to them. So make sure that you are reaching out and strategically reaching out. Don't just go to every river cruise and say, okay, I want to partner. Pick the ones that resonate with you. Take their online training if it's available. Not everybody has a great online training program, but make sure that you are taking advantage of all the information they've already put out. So when you do get to meet with them, that's a powerful conversation right there. Wouldn't you agree
that is actually where the magic happens? Because when you've got an excited BDM who works for a brand, and you sit down with an advisor that has come into the table ready to sell, ready to know, has clients in mind, it goes from a sales call to a conversation to a collaboration, and that is where
I
you get
love
it done.
that you did that, because that's exactly what I've seen. The reason why I preach this all the time now is I have heard from our members and from our partners that it started with a phone call about X. It ended up where the member asked the supplier partner a question. The supplier partner asked the member a question, and then not only did everybody get the answer, whatever the answer was, but they also got a whole new idea. Both of them did.
Yep.
And it has sparked, there's one member of ours, Heidi, I'm not going to call you out completely, but Heidi in New York, who she works with her collection of partners. These are the partners that she recommends, and she does groups and she does individual travel, but she forms a partnership with that BDM that, I mean,
cannot be broken.
It cannot be broken.
Yeah.
It is amazing. So anyway, they're out there. They're out there for you. So please reach out to them, talk to them, share with them, be vulnerable with them. If you haven't sold any of their product, that's okay. But make sure you tell them why you want to sell their product and that you have taken the initiative to learn everything that you can. Now, how do you take it further? So please
Yes.
take advantage of that relationship. And Jen, I knew this was going to happen.
Are we running out of time?
We ran out of
God.
time. Yeah.
That was the fastest time of my life. I mean, we just sat down.
Now I had the time of my life.
I looked so much like Jennifer Grey in 8th grade. You have no idea when that I'm telling you,
When
I'll
that
find you a
movie came
picture.
out?
I had the perm.
You had it?
Seriously, I did, because then I ended up having to have a face surgery because I had a really bad underbite that actually did change my looks a little. I remember when she went and had plastic
she
surgery.
did the same.
I know. So I'm
Wow,
totally Jennifer
you
Grey.
and Jennifer Grey. Anyway. I really appreciate you coming all the way from Colorado to Georgia to do this partner spotlight with us.
I think it needs to be a somewhat regular thing.
I feel like Evan behind.
Because honestly, too, I mean, this is great, and we talked about the brand, but you'll find out about the brand, all of our brands, but the opportunity to really talk about the business, talk about this industry, to talk about the people within it. We could come back and just have a topic, right? It could be something outside of even River Cruise. I would love that.
And Jen, don't forget, we have you on the calendar for quite a few things. In fact, we had to quickly move something that we didn't plan for appropriately, because you and I were both.
It was not going to be good. This is much better for our debut.
For the first time. So definitely check out the calendar because we have a lot more coming up.
We have other things. For sure.
We have other things coming up. And just be on the lookout for just more news coming from Riverside Luxury Cruises, not only from Jen, but from the rest of our team, who I can't wait to meet.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you personally for coming. And you are welcome back to the Sequin Palace anytime. Evan can make it happen. He's the man, right?
Can I get a member card or
something before I leave? I feel like if you want to, he likes creative projects like that. So.
I really, you can even mail it to me. It's fine. I just want to make sure I have it with me next time I come.
So you're always welcome, and thank you. And thank you also, because there's an opportunity that these guys haven't learned about yet to be able to experience.
Yes.
So we're just gonna. I've learned that I say too much. So just
I
stay tuned to World Via Pro for sure.
Definitely.
So,
And I want to say thank you. God, you are seriously one of my favorite humans. And I say that all the
Oh.
time, and I really mean it.
yeah,
Seriously.
no, I
know.
mean that
and,
too.
and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. This is amazing. I feel really honored to be representing Riverside Luxury Cruises. And I think we're going to do a lot of really fun things. But definitely get out there and try it. Get your clients out there to try it. We've got great inaugural pricing because we want to hear your feedback. We're not going to be perfect out of the gate. No one believes that you can be, but we're pretty darn good out of the gate. I have to say, I've sent some advisors on and stuff, and one advisor in particular, he closed his blog with, "They're better than they should be, given how new they are."
Better than they should be.
Given how new they are.
That's awesome.
So.
Well, thank you. And Evan, if I can have this camera right here, I just want to say again, thank you guys for joining us live or watching us on demand. This has been one of World Via Travel Quest Network's partner spotlights. We don't do these all the time, but I hope that you continue to tune in, watch the calendar for when these are coming up, because this is not just some of those boring, they start with W's, and I can't even get them out of my mouth. This is a partner spotlight, and I hope you enjoyed the difference, and please give us feedback. Who do you want to see on the fuchsia couch or chairs in the future? Because we'd love to bring you more partners, but we actually do have a lot of partners who are coming, so I have to say that. So please be on the lookout for more partner spotlights. Thank you again, and you know what? Take care of yourself so we can take care of each other. See you